Sellers, you might not need to reduce the price.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. We are the Hatch Homes Group and it's our Monday market update. And this is a bit of a part two of what we talked about last week when we were talking about temporary rate buy downs for buyers and how that can really help their affordability on their monthly payment. But we're going to look at this in the seller's eye of how you could, as a seller, perhaps help your buyer have a little bit more affordable monthly payment. And it will help your bottom line of not having to reduce the price as much. So let's really break that down.
40% of listings are having price reductions right now throughout the country.
But do they have to have such big ones?
There might be a better solution.
Yeah.
We ran some numbers with a trusted lender partner to show how a seller can offer a closing credit that would be a fraction of what they would need to do to reduce the price that would get the buyer the same monthly payment. So let's explain.
Yes, we'd like to welcome Stephanie Levine from Neo Home Loans again. Thank you for coming on our show and breaking down these numbers for us.
Thanks for having me 2 weeks in a row. I'm honored.
Yeah.
So for us to break down these numbers, I prepared a spreadsheet because I always think numbers tell the story better than words. So let me share my screen. So in this scenario, let me walk you through this of what you're looking at. Let's say you're listing your home at $800,000 and the buyer comes to the table, they put 25% down payment. So their loan amount's $600,000. Where interest rates are today, their monthly payment on a 30-year
Stephanie,
loan.
I've got to interrupt a second.
Yep.
I'm sure a lot of people will be, that 6.88% will stick out and it'll be a horrible number for a lot of people. I remember when I started out in real estate, that was a good interest rate. It just struck me. You know?
Right. I think it's important to remember that.
Yeah, I think it is a good interest rate when you look at the scheme of the history of interest rates. And I believe that the shock in this payment and interest rate today is really because it's going up so rapid.
Yeah.
In January, interest rates were 3%, and we're pushing up to 7% in the last 9 months.
Yeah.
I think that's a shock to our economy and our system and affordability. So I agree with you, John, like in the scheme of things, this is a low interest rate.
Yeah.
And if interest rates keep going up next year, this interest rate is going to look so good. Right. And if they go down next year, great. Then everybody's going to refinance and have a lower rate. So I think it is a shock, but I think it's going to get better. And next year it's going to be something in our rear view mirror.
Absolutely.
So this, where that payment interest rate is, that puts somebody's payment at $3,941. That's just below $4,000. And we're looking at the seller side here. So let's say the seller's current loan balance is around $400,000. They sell an $800,000 home. Their proceeds in their pocket after the sale is $400,000. So your house is sitting for a while. You have a choice to make with the price. Do you lower the price by $30,000? If you do that, you as a seller are going to pocket $370,000 as your proceeds. So, and the buyer's payment goes down about $150. So if we look at another way to make this more affordable, let's say the seller, instead of lowering the price, keep the price, but take $13,000 for the buyer to use towards a rate buy down. And then in this one, it's a permanent buy down. The rate would be 5.875, and they save almost $400 to the payment. And
Stephanie, can I interrupt? Stephanie, can I interrupt again?
Yes.
That's a big saving. And when you think over the life of the loan, that's a huge number.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah.
And remember, this is the permanent buy down versus last week when we talked about 2-1 buy down, right?
Correct. So this is showing a permanent buy down. But if the seller's willing to contribute, then the buyer has the choice if they're going to do a permanent or a temporary, maybe a combination of the two.
Yeah, but yeah, if you continue on looking at that, what their proceeds are versus price reduction, that's
right. And so the seller wins with this. They keep more money in the pocket. The buyer wins cash flow wise. They are spending less each month. And so if you look at this last column, this is what I think is the true tale of everything. In order for the seller to sell the home and the buyer to get that same payment, they have to reduce it to $720.
That's
and
huge.
you see what that does to their proceeds.
Yeah, that's a big
So
chunk.
it's about the strategy that you come to the market and the buyer has so that everybody wins and benefiting the most.
Yeah.
So the bottom line is, if you offer this seller buy down to the buyers, you as the seller get to keep money in your pocket in terms of your net proceeds, and the buyers get a more affordable monthly rate that they maybe were expecting based on the lower interest rates that just recently were available to them, which makes this a really attractive option.
Yeah, it's absolutely a great marketing tool. And it's going to increase the amount of buyers that are going to be having eyes on your house. It increases that pool. So it's a win-win.
Yeah, totally win-win. And I think it's important to have, I think we all think it's important to have a good agent on your side that is in your corner, giving you these options and showing you that there is a better way. And so, reach out to us. We can answer your questions. We can connect you with Stephanie and set up a consultation, and we'll talk about your scenario and what would work for you. Sellers, we've been doing this a lot. Inventory is picking up and you help that. So please reach out and remember to like and subscribe and leave a comment. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this and what you would like to see more of. So thank you.
See you next week.
Have a good week.